out, my motivation is my mother's ass. It's basically what it is. I don't know if you're familiar with the Greek ass, but it's big. And I know you're looking at me like, oh my God, you're so tiny. And I'm 102 pounds and I'm 87 pounds of ass. And that's how that math works. I do it all. I do, the cardio sculpt and the spin and the Pilates and all this stuff. And I'll tell you, who made that all up? You know who instituted that? ISIS. ISIS. It's ISIS's plot to get back to us. They said they were going to get us from the inside.
Hello, everybody. Hello. That was Ellen Karis that you just heard. I am your host, Shelly Colman, and this is the Funny Women of a Certain Age podcast. So, Ellen Karis, hello.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Been meaning to for a while, but I am terrible at scheduling. So, the fact that I managed to find a time when we were both available, I think I get a gold star for that. So, first of all, Ellen, you are one of the rare people who actually has a title. Now, when we started this podcast, I just started giving people titles randomly. Carol Montgomery is Her Grace. Leanne Lord is Her Majesty. I'm the Baroness, which is a longer story. But you are the Greek goddess of comedy.
I am. That is correct.
How did you come by this title?
I love telling this story because I did not make it up, because it kind of sounds narcissistic, right? So, which is something I struggle with in this business, but you have to, because you have to blow your own horn constantly and sell yourself constantly.
It's exhausting.
And any look of weakness can cost you gigs. So with that said, many years ago when I started, I was doing open mics at the Comedy Cellar.
Okay.
I loved it. And it was great. And there was an MC comedian. I don't know if he's still doing it or not. He eventually moved to LA. His name was Sal Froyo, and he was very Italian. And he would bring me up, after doing it for a while, and we got to know each other. He called me the Greek princess.
Oh.
And so that kind of started the ball rolling. And then there was another comedian that said something about the Greek goddess. So a little later on after that, when I hooked up with a few other Greek comedians, Basil, Jim Mandrinos, who you know, and there was a guy, Jimmy Santis, he actually did Greek song parodies. And we talked about touring together and everything. Ultimately, later we did a DVD. And so I was the Greek goddess of comedy, and it stuck. So
now I have this image, Athena, of course, sprang from Zeus's head full blown, and Aphrodite appeared on a clamshell or something. So did you just spring up from a comedy stage one day, just full blown goddess of comedy?
I sprung up from an accounting office is basically what I sprung up from.
See, there's a twist. There's always got to be a twist, right?
I got my head out of the general ledger, and I said, I need to do something that's more lucrative. And here I am.
And rather than that, you decided to do comedy. Absolutely. Now, that's one of the things that I find interesting about you is that you so lean into your Greek heritage. Were you born in Greece? Were you born here and from a Greek family? Or
no, I'm third generation. My grandparents were born in Greece. Actually, my mother's side's from Cyprus, so I'm half Cypriot.
Okay.
And then my father's side is by Sparta. And my parents were born here, and I was born here. But Greeks, for the most part, and certainly in this tri-state area, because I've traveled all over the country, so I've seen some of the differences. But here in the tri-state, we embrace our heritage. One of the reasons we do is we have a lot of churches here, and a lot of Greeks in the community, and we have dances and events and all kinds of things, and it brings us together. Plus, a lot of us went to Greek school. So I actually went to Greek parochial school. So I went like a full time.
Wow.
But so that's like our rite of passage, because not only did your grandparents speak it and you might have spoken it at home, although in my house, my parents spoke mostly English, but there was a very big Greek, now I won't even say undertone, overtone, but again,
All the tones.
I went to Greek school. All my friends were Greek. My whole life was, done at the church,
Hmm.
and that's kind of how it happens. And although I'm an American, but
Right.
the church really starts as the breeding ground in sort of hanging on to your culture. So
Oh, wow.
that's why. But just also as well as the traditions, right? I mean, food obviously is a
Right.
huge thing.
Sure. Sure.
And and the holidays and how we are about family. We're very tight with family. That doesn't mean everybody gets along. It just
Well,
means
no, that would be
in theory, in theory. Um,
right.
and so knowing the language too, and
Hmm.
I'm fluent. I mean, it's not like the best Greek. I can I certainly can understand and I can carry on a conversation, but my vocabulary isn't, it's not like graduate school level, but that's a big part.
So is it sort of
Mhm.
like the Greek equivalent of Spanglish,
Yeah,
Spanish
we
and English?
speak Gringlish. Yeah,
Gringlish. There you
we speak a lot of Gringlish. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for
Okay,
sure.
I
But
think that I know two Greek expressions, but I'm probably going to get them wrong, and I can't remember what I think they mean. Okay, I'm going to try them out on you. Please feel free to laugh your head off. Okay, Kalinita and
Kalinikta, bravo.
Kalimera.
Bravo. That's excellent. And you said it very well.
Oh,
You
thank
your
you. What did I say?
pronunciation, Kalinikta, that's great. That's exactly how we say it, because a lot of people will say like I know Kalinikta, or Musaka, or but you said it really nicely.
But what
So
does it mean?
Kalinikta is good night,
Oh,
and Kalimera is good morning.
oh, oh. Well, okay, I got them backwards, but that's fine.
That's
Okay,
okay.
yay me! I'm very excited. I
Bravo.
also somebody also told me, and I might get this one right. I don't know. It's two for three. Uh, Gala Cristiana.
Kalakristuya, bravo. Merry Christmas.
Oh, great. Okay, again, a little bit early on that, but still, I'll keep it in my back pocket. I'll call you on the 25th just to say that.
Oh, thank you. Christmas in July.
Exactly, exactly. So you're a married person. Is
I
your
am.
husband also Greek?
He is not. He is not. Yeah,
Was
I
that a
am.
scandal?
Yes, it was.
Oh my God, no.
I mean, ultimately it worked out and everybody
Yes.
embraced it, but there was some definitely roadblocks. And
Oh dear.
it could have been anybody, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not like I went to college and then I got married right away. I had a career, I did things,
So you
and
started disappointing the family early, is what you're telling
oh
me.
yeah,
Okay.
way. I was 12 probably. Yeah, but I will say, so my husband's not really any ethnicity. So, and Greeks will understand this, and maybe Italians as well when they marry non-Italians. But when you enter our world, we suck you into our vortex. So you just become Greek. And that
Uh-huh.
is just the way that it is. Okay.
I
You are
see.
breaking eggs on Easter like we do. You're eating lamb. You're talking at a high volume. You're dramatic.
So essentially, it's a virus. Once you get together with a Greek person, then you catch Greek.
We can we you come into, and you learn the words that you need to know to get
Right.
around, so we can
Right.
talk, when there's non-Greek people around and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, it's quite
Okay.
the process.
I bet. And he is also not a comedian.
Oh God, no. Yeah, no.
Well, I specifically asked that because we've had a couple of other guests on who
Hmm.
are married to comics. And
Yes.
I'm always amazed by that because the expression, you don't I don't remember exactly what the expression is, like you don't mess around where you work, or you don't
You
whatever
don't
the thing
poop.
is,
Well,
but
you don't poop where you eat, right?
yes, there
Oh, well,
you
that's
go.
what my
There you
father had said to me the
Yeah.
first day in corporate America. Actually, what he said
Uh-huh.
was, "Don't shit where you eat." That's what, because
Right. So it's fine.
he's from Brooklyn, and that's
Hey,
how that
so am
goes.
I.
Right?
What am I going to
I
say
know.
to
That's
that?
why I said
Yeah.
it.
I'm always amazed when people manage to do that. To find someone. It makes sense. You're somebody you work with, somebody who
Right,
knows your life and all that kind of
right.
thing. But then I go, well, but I don't know. I've never been married. I'm really not qualified to even address the subject. But I do
Well,
ask because I'm
uh,
curious.
right. No, no, it's a great question, and I am with you as a married person. I am fascinated that these people are are promising to live their life together in this insanity. But I look at it like, do we need two unemployed people in the house? You know what
There
I'm
you
saying?
go. Yes, yes. Somebody has to make a living.
Somebody has to work.
Oh, good
No,
lord.
in all seriousness, though, I mean, I that wasn't something that I was interested in.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean that like there weren't some cute comics around and all that, but I
yeah,
didn't foresee myself doing that just because I was trying to find my own way. And like I said, I had a corporate life beforehand, so I know what that's like.
yeah, yeah. Is that where you met him in your corporate gig?
Not quite. Not we didn't work
Oh,
together. Not yeah,
oh,
not
okay.
quite. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
always the
yeah,
other
yeah,
thing. I'm always interested in how people meet their significant others because that to me is a magic trick. I don't know how you do
yeah.
this. How do you find somebody you can stand to be around for the rest of your life?
Well, well, it's a gamble.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
It's one big casino, is what marriage is basically. Sometimes you
Okay.
win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah, I see a lot of losing. A lot of
Yeah.
losing seems to go on around. Anyway,
Yeah,
anyway, so
listen, my husband's great, and
mhm.
he's been supportive, but
But
but especially for me, I have a CPA, I had a Wall Street job. Like, he does look at me as lost income. I'm not gonna
oh.
lie. Like, he's like, he actually, I think he
Uh,
has a spreadsheet of like what I made versus what I could have made and the
oh, wow.
differential. I'm waiting for like a really big fight for him to pull it out.
Oh, well, I watched your Dry Bar special, and you did comment about how he keeps a ledger
It's a
of
ledger. Yeah.
what you spend and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
this that would drive me insane.
Yeah, my husband's in finance, also in banking, on the banking side, but he would have been great in consumer affairs. Like, he
Oh,
that really was his wheelhouse.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, you know what? It's not too late for him to start a new
Yeah.
career,
Again, two
particularly one that
unemployed people, right?
exactly one that does not pay well.
But I have to say, I did know my husband for a very long time before we got married, before we decided to get married. I knew him for 12 years, which I know is I know it's crazy, right? Long time. So, and I have to tell you, when we told our friends that we were getting married, they were in shock because they thought, you're going to be one of those couples, you're going to get married. They were like, oh my, why? Why now? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why two people that have been dating for so long decide to get married. Because one day you look at that person and you realize you're not going to do any better than that. That is the truth. This is it. This is it. That and the health insurance. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, so another thing that a lot of our guests have in common is that they are authors, and you wrote a book. You wrote a children's book, yes?
I did. I did. Mine's a little off the beaten path versus, I believe, some of the other comedians. So, kind of getting back to my Greek heritage,
Hmm.
which I'm very proud of.
Yes,
I
I
am
got that.
Greek, and I'm Greek Orthodox. I'm faithful. I'm far from perfect, but I am faithful. I believe. I
Uh
don't
huh.
try to convince anybody. It's like, just
Fair enough.
do you. But I was a Sunday school teacher,
Hmm.
and I was teaching the little kids. And why? I had no teaching experience. That was never a vision that I ever had. But
Right.
anyway, I got more involved with the church. My nieces were very young at the time. I wanted to get them into Sunday school with my sister. So my sister and I kind of volunteered. Anyway, long story short, um, I am not a parent. We are not parents, but I am a godmother a few times over because I'm
Oh,
always available.
right.
And and 9 times, as a matter of fact. And
Wow.
yeah, and I my aunt is my godmother, and
Hmm.
she never had any kids. She was a teacher though, like for real, like in Manhattan.
Right.
public school in Manhattan. And she, to this day, she is hugely influential and instrumental in my life. And
Mhm.
she was the person that introduced me to theater. She took me to my first play when I was 4 years old at Lincoln
Wow.
Center. And so I had such an amazing role model. And then the last 20 years of a career, she was a librarian at the school.
Mhm.
So, and it's funny, like my sisters, my cousins, she was the person that did our homework with us. She
Oh,
was
nice.
the homework aunt. So, anyway, I wanted to teach the kids about their godparents and what that relationship is, and just sort of drive the point home that this is really important and you're always going to have them and all that other kind of stuff. So, I couldn't find any resources. So, I decided to write the book myself. I had a story in mind,
Right.
and I sat on it for a long time, and then finally I'm like, I'm going to do this. Like these big projects, to me, yes, I got it done, and I'm super proud of it. But I wish I can do these things sooner. Like I have
Right.
had a zillion ideas. Even to,
Yeah.
like, I have my own podcast that I've had for almost, I'm on my 12th season. But
Oh,
it took me
goodness.
such a long time to just start it.
Right. Right.
So anyway, I finally got it. I finally kind of got it together, and then I'm like, oh my god, I need an illustrator. So I found an illustrator. I wanted somebody that was also of Greek Orthodox faith. It's really for Orthodox Christians, so not just Greek.
Okay. Mhm.
And that was it. And I worked with her. Unfortunately, COVID happened, so there was delays. But at the end of the day, finally in January of I think it was 2022,
Mhm.
I self-published via Amazon, and
Wow.
I'm super proud of it. The illustrator did a great job. I have to tell you, it was a lot of work. I had no idea, Shelley. I just thought, oh, okay, da, 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 but
Children's book. Yeah, nothing. Just whip it off
right,
and
I have
oh.
the story. But it
Right.
was because the pictures have to match the words and all
Right.
this
Of
stuff,
course.
and then
Yeah.
you want to write the dedication and this and that, and just have your little marketing thing in there. So anyway, so yes, so I am an author. That is a fact.
Wow.
I've been
What is the
published.
book called?
It is called Special People, Godparents in the Orthodox Christian Faith.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And do
Yeah.
you promote that when you're on the road? Do you take that with you as sort of merch, I guess is the word?
Yeah. So I generally just sell it when I do the Greek churches,
Oh, right. That makes
because I don't know if anybody else would buy it, and what's the point?
yeah.
And you work with comics all the time that have a lot of merch and stuff. I don't know how they do it. A friend of mine, I love him, but he brings like another suitcase, like a whole
Oh,
rollaway bag. And I'm
oh
like,
boy.
I just want like my carry on, like the books I can actually just stick in my carry on bag.
Right.
Like I sell 30 books, or that's a
Uh-huh.
good day. And if I think I'm going to sell more, I had one show where I wound up selling 50. I ordered them from home, and then from Amazon, I
Ship
just
them
had them
there.
shipped. Yeah, so that's kind of where I sell them, bookstores, whatever. So I have them on, they're available. It's available on Amazon,
Right.
12.95. If you
Right.
ever, by the way, want to make money, don't write a children's book. I mean, there's like,
I,
like there's, it's a
oh,
labor of
good.
love. I mean,
Another way to not make money.
another as an accountant, I'm really nailing this, I have to tell you. The margin is very low. I mean, I make a couple dollars, and I'm past break even.
Oh, good.
So now everything is profit, but
Oh, sure. Yeah.
it's I like it. It's part of my brand and stuff like that. I wanted
Yeah.
to do another children's book. I was an elf at Macy's, and I wanted to do something about that, but I can't kind of, and I don't want it to just be for Christmas. So
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out if I want to do that. But I'm writing a play right now, so I can only do like one huge thing at a time in
Is this
between
is this
stand up.
is this the solo show about your grandmother?
Yes, my great grandmother. Yes,
Oh, cool. Cool.
yes, yes.
Working
So
title. Working
yes,
title.
yeah, yeah. The working
Don't have one
title
yet?
is I'm everyone's grandma. That's the working
Oh.
title. But
Mhm.
that also, I had this idea years and years and years ago, and I talked about it, and then I wrote things here and I wrote things there, and finally a few years ago I got more serious about it.
Mhm.
But this last year I got even more serious about it. So I'm working with someone that's going to be my director, and I mean I have a full draft,
Huh?
like for an 80-minute play. That's how one person shows usually are. So that's great. Again, I can't begin to tell you how hard and time consuming this is. Like, I have such admiration for Mike Birbiglia, Lin Manuel. These people that just churn out. I mean, I know they have staffs and stuff like that, but listen, they started out also just themselves, and it's quite the undertaking. But we're getting there, and I think it's going to be great. Hmm?
Oh, good, good.
Yeah,
I was just going to throw
yeah,
in that
yeah.
Lin Manuel Miranda and I went to the same high school, like a
Did
hundred
you?
years apart. But you know,
Oh, okay.
so
Oh,
I always
yeah.
feel like I feel like I should get free tickets to everything he does because we both went to. I don't think
um,
that's how that works, Shelley.
he is a smarty. So now that's what I'm working on. So you have to be so self-motivated in this business.
I
And
know.
I'm getting better at setting deadlines for myself. It's only taken how many, decades in comedy to just do this. It's funny because I'm used to deadlines. That's the kind of environment I worked at. Year
Yeah.
end, this has to be filed, that has to be filed. It was all about that. My whole
Yeah,
life
but it's
was
different. It's
deadline.
different when you set yourself a deadline because I know
Yes.
whenever I try to do that, the 5-year-old voice in my head goes, "You're not my boss. I don't have to do it."
You're not the boss of me.
Exactly. No, I'm not. Which is
That's so
really
funny.
self-defeating, but
That's
that's
so funny.
that's my programming right in there.
Yeah. So I'm hoping maybe by September,
Yeah.
if we keep up at this pace, because it's also, getting together with my director and
Mhm.
stuff. So, but he's been making the time for me, and he's been amazing, and I'm so blessed. So maybe by September I can get like 10 people in a room,
Mhm.
and do that,
Right.
because the thing, it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna change. That's why I don't want to say like I have the play already. It's gonna change because I'm
Right.
gonna
Yeah.
do it in front of people, and they're gonna be like, "Well, what was that again? I didn't get that. Whatever. Maybe that doesn't belong here." So,
Yeah.
I still have to then go through that process, and I'm going to be playing 12 different characters.
Oh,
So
wow.
I have to really work on the voices. Like my great grandmother's voice, I have,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of other ones that I have to really work on. So
Oh my goodness. You know what? That's actually though timely because there's a show on Broadway now. What is it? Is it Picture of Dorian Gray, where one woman is playing, I don't know, 40 dozen different people with like with
Sa-
cameras and things
Sarah
and
Sarah Snook,
yes,
who's
yes.
from Succession.
Oh, okay.
If you watch the show Succession, she was one of the main characters. But yes, I should really go see that. Yeah, yeah, she won the
And then there's
Tony.
did she? Oh my
Yep.
god, I'm way out of
Hmm.
touch. Wow. Well, see, this is your time then. You just gotta climb on that bandwagon, and okay, it's your version of Dorian Gray, a
Yeah,
picture of Ellen Karis. It's
I
his grandmother,
it's my
great
great, yeah,
grandmother.
my great grandma. Because I'm at the point where it's like I have to create my own thing. I
Right.
just have to. I've tried
Yeah.
acting, auditioning, getting an agent. I've done little things here and there. I was on Mrs. Maisel. I was a feature waitress on there. That was great, but it's hard.
Yeah.
And again, this was something else I had in my head that I really wanted to do. But it's
Right.
coming along. I think, I hate to be all woo woo because I'm not, trust me. But, I think it sort of happened the way it was supposed to happen, because this story would have been very different 15 years ago when I started to think about it.
Right. Right. Plus, you still have the whole process of stage readings and development and whatnot. And by the end of it, by the time you get it up on its feet in front of a huge audience, it could be a completely different story about a completely different person. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. So now let's talk about Funny Women of a Certain Age.
Hmm.
You have become a semi-regular now on the tour,
Yeah.
and you are going to be. Let's see, it's in
Sell.
August 9th,
Yeah. Hmm.
with Carol Montgomery, and Marla Schultz, and that is in Pennsylvania, right? Have you done that?
Sellersville, yeah, Sellersville Theater. Carol brought me there a couple of years ago, and it was
Yeah.
great. First of all, I love Carol. Everybody in her circle knows what she's done for women in comedy. Not to sound
Right.
cliche, but I mean, but she's also done things for guys too as well.
Sure.
You know,
Sure. Because God
um,
knows they need the help.
right. But God, I just love what she did. And anytime she asks me, I always say yes right away. I mean, unless
Right.
I'm not in town or I'm not here.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy for her and Leanne and Julia. And when they go touring, like when I see those posts, we see posts of
Right.
comedy shows all the time. But
All
that
the
one,
time.
I'm so excited
Yeah.
because she worked really, really hard. It's a great concept. The shows are great. Julia Scotti, I mean, my gosh, she's
Mhm.
amazing.
Right.
And,
How
it's
did you
always a
meet
great.
Carol?
I first met her, and I can't remember the year, that in 2005,
It
maybe.
doesn't matter.
Um, I went to Las Vegas. There was the Las Vegas Comedy Festival,
Uh-huh.
and I went. I did a set. Maybe I did like two sets on some kind of
Mhm.
little show or something. They had all these workshops, and Pat Cooper did
Oh.
stand up, and it was great. It was in, I forgot what casino it was in, like the Frontier or something. One, like not the one of the nice ones, but like one of the old
Yeah.
that they've blown up since.
Oh, please.
And she was on a panel, and I remember thinking to myself, this woman's really interesting, and she's talking about her career and blah, blah, blah. And she lived in Vegas at the time,
Right.
and then soon thereafter she moved back.
Mhm.
And so then I was like, oh, I remember you. I might have met her there. I might have, we might have been introduced there or something.
Mhm.
Anyway, so when she came back to New York, and she was just, raring to go and raring to help people, and
Right.
be a
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So you've been doing comedy for not quite as long as she has, obviously.
Right? Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do you have a
Yes.
specific date that you started? Like some people have a comedy anniversary. I have no idea when I started. It was just one day I went, oh yeah, I'll do that.
What I guess I do. I know it was in July, like July 5th or something. I
Oh.
did my first show. Um, what are we in now? 2025. So I think it was like 2000.
Okay.
But then I didn't do anything for a little bit. And then I kind of was like, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
But what I was doing prior, so this is how I got into stand up. It was, you start off doing one thing and then you wind up doing something else.
Mhm.
So I was in finance, but in my little Ellen body, I always wanted to be an actress, but I
Mhm.
never took an acting class. That's not something in my Greek family that was even mentioned. Nobody's artistic. Nobody, they can't even draw. Like nobody can sing. We can eat and we can cook and we can fight,
Yes.
but there's no art there. And I have an MBA in finance, so I'm educated and then some. And after I was done with all this, I'm like, I want to do something fun. I know the left side of my brain works. I want to do something fun. So I took an improv class at the New School,
Oh wow.
and I loved it. And we just did these silly exercises like pretending
Right.
to put on mascara, and the other person's in the mirror, like all this stuff. I never, like, I was so out of what I was used to,
Wow.
and I loved it. And after it was done, I was like, "Oh, I'm doing another one." And there were so many schools around at that time. Yes, but anyway, I took an acting class, and I loved it. And then the next semester, and this, that, and then ultimately, I went to study with a woman by the name of Penny Templeton, and who I can't believe after all this time I still haven't gotten her on my podcast, but she's on my short list because she changed my life. So the exercise, when we came into class, she would have us improv something from our life.
Right.
So my one of my sisters was getting married, and every weekend was like 9,000 phone calls, drama, this, blah, DJ. Oh, no, I want a DJ. He wants a band. I mean, and I'm like, why am I involved? I'm not getting
Mhm.
married. Like, why is this my thing?
Because
Calls
it's
from
your
my mother,
family.
right? Call from my grandmother. Calls. Okay. Anyway, so that's what I would improv everywhere. I come in, I just explode. And one day, Penny is laughing, and Penny goes, uh, she goes, "I hope you're talking about all this in your stand up. I mean, it must be hilarious." And I'm like, I don't do stand up." And this is what she said. She goes, "Get some, get some." So later on that night, I'm in the car. This is my only, what does Oprah say? Like the aha moment. I only have
Mhm.
one. Not even meeting
Mhm.
my husband. So I remember thinking to myself, well, there's, Seinfeld, Ray Romano, Brett Butler, Roseanne, all these stand-ups got
Mhm.
sitcoms. And I really wanted to be on a sitcom. I loved sitcoms. That's what I
Right.
wanted.
Right.
And so I was like, well, if I become a stand up, then someone will see me and they'll see that they need to, make a show about this crazy Greek family,
Of
and
course.
that'll be it. And that's what I thought. That was my thought process. So I looked up where I can take a class, and I went to the comic strip and I took a class with DF Sweetler, who is still teaching to this day, who looks exactly the same. I don't know what oxygen chamber he is sleeping in, but I need to get one. I hope it's on Amazon Prime. And it was funny. There was another girl in the class. It was just her and I. And then I don't know what happened to her. So it was just DF and I. So I was almost getting like private coaching.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget DF. And I've told him this when I've seen him. He gave such great advice. And one of the things that he said, when you write, always write clean, because you can make clean dirty, but you can't
Right.
make dirty clean.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me.
Yeah.
And, all these years later, I can do churches. I love doing corporates. I mean, I'm really
Hmm.
trying to get more into that space,
Right.
because I can do that. And I'm not putting anybody down, but like not all comics can work clean,
Right.
admittedly so. And that's
Right.
fine. Not everybody, club is not for everybody. Corporate,
Hmm.
we all have our little niches. So that was it. And then I did that show, and then it was like off and running, and trying to find where the open mics were, the
Hmm.
cellar. Boston Comedy Club was around at that time. Did a lot of bringer shows, all that kind of stuff. And then after a few years, started to venture out, Long Island, New Jersey, because this city's very limiting, especially when you're really trying to get your comedy chops going.
Hmm.
So that woman, Penny Templeton, changed my life.
Okay, so your next goal, maybe before you finish the solo show, is getting Penny Templeton on Sweet and Salty, which
Yeah.
is the perfect opportunity to say Sweet and Salty is the Ellen Karis podcast, and it's a weekly. Is that correct?
Yeah, Sweet and Salty with Ellen Karis, because I am sweet, but I could be salty.
This is what
So
I'm told. Yes, this
yes,
is the word
yes,
on the
yes.
street.
Yeah,
She's a
I
little
do. Yeah,
salty.
once a week. So either I have a guest or I do a solo show, but
Mm.
consistency is everything. And the ones that I do myself, it's like a half hour, and I'm usually ranting about, God knows what. God knows there's enough to rant about.
But it's not strictly a comedy podcast, is it? You have writers and
Yes. Yeah.
actors on, and
I mean, yeah, yes, interesting people. I
mhm.
had the other week. I had an animator on, Phineas and Ferb. She works for Disney. It
Really?
was
Oh, I
fascinating.
got to listen to
I've
that
had
one.
I've had priests on. I've had
Yeah.
authors on, wellness people.
Hmm.
I love to hear everybody's story.
Hmm.
So I mean, I get very sick of hearing myself talk or talk about myself. I mean, this is great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But I want to hear what other people have to say. And I really like asking questions. So,
Right.
uh,
Right. Well, that's the ideal thing then. I mean,
yeah.
a host of something, maybe not a sitcom, but maybe your own talk show.
Well, it's evolved, right? I mean, well, first of all, the sitcom model is a little bit of a dinosaur ish. I mean, it's Netflix, it's, no
Hmm.
audience, it's that kind of thing.
Right.
But not that I would ever turn it down, obviously.
Oh,
But
gee, really?
talk shows used to be like something your parents watched,
Right.
and
Yeah,
now that's what all these podcasts are. They're talk
that's
shows.
true. That's true. Yeah. So, why broke it if why broke it? Why fix it if it ain't broke? Oh man, I'm sorry. It's been
But
too hot for 2 days. I have like 8 or 9 brain cells left, and they're fighting amongst themselves.
yeah, I would. Yeah, sure. I would love someone to pay for me to talk. Yes,
Right. See,
yes.
once
Who
again,
would?
there's that little money problem, isn't it?
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the Oscars? Do you watch the Oscar? Okay, okay. So, do you know the Oscars? They always have the accounting firm that comes out and they say they do the tallying for who the winners are. Okay, I worked for that accounting firm. I did, and I had a revelation this last year when I watched the Oscars. I realized that I had a better shot at going to the Oscars as an accountant than I did as an actress.
Wow. So you do have a whole bunch of stuff coming up in addition to the Funny Women show on the 8th and on the 9th rather in August 9th, 8, 9. Good, Shelley, you can do this. You have a Borscht Belt show coming up, and Carol Montgomery's on that one too, is she not?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
what's that about?
That is just that came out of left field. So a comedian by the name of Joey Novick wrote a play about his mother, Pearl, who lived in Boca with her sister, and she had a lot of friends, and they would play mahjong, and Joey would go down to visit,
Right.
and just as any good comedian, storyteller would listen to their stories and made either mental notes or wrote things down,
Yeah.
and thought these conversations were hilarious with these women and some of the things that they were talking about. So he put together a short play. It's about 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and Carol actually had gotten me involved because I guess he was looking for people, and she said, "Oh, Ellen would be great." So we wound up doing it, and it was actually a year ago this month. It was in Queens, Long Island City. I think it was called like the Little Theater Festival or something. And we didn't know, Joey didn't even know when he entered it was a contest. So, we wound up,
surprise.
we made it to the finals or whatever.
Cool.
But it was it was so fun. It was Carol, myself, Julia Scotti, and we had, this is going to get sad, but Anita Weiss, who had passed away.
Yes.
God rest her soul. And then when we went to perform it, she couldn't. So we had Ellen Orchid was in it, and Nancy Redmond. So then we did it in February, and instead of Ellen, we had Marla Schultz. And it was great. And we did it downtown. There was some other little comedy festival. I forgot what it was called. And then Joey was like, "You guys are so funny," because we improv some stuff too. I mean, we're comics and we're actresses, and we really have a very, very good synergy because we're. I mean, I wasn't really good friends with Nancy, and I didn't really know. I worked with Julia once, but I didn't really know her as much, as obviously I do now. Carol, I know. Marla's a good friend of mine, so we have this really great synergy together. So Joey was like, "I'm going to see if I can get us onto the Borscht Belt Comedy Festival, which is we're going to do our show July 26th, Saturday at 12:45 p.m. And then we're going to do a talk back. And then we're going to, and then we're going to do just like a panel, which and we've been writing some stuff to add to the play because we would like to get it to a full length play."
Right.
And who knows, maybe, to be able to tour with it,
Sure.
So it's very funny. I mean, it needs to be longer. It's short. So we're going to see where it goes. So that's going to be fun. We're going to go up the night before and just yenta it up.
So the Borscht Belt Comedy Festival is it's not just you guys. If it's a festival, it's a bunch of other things.
Yes.
So is it all, one hopes it's all funny. It plays and stand up and sketch and just everything.
Yeah. It's like a 3-day event. Yeah, I forgot.
Nice.
What? Who was the Elon Gold? Somebody was the main event. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But we're there on Saturday, and I got some stuff going on in Long Island. I got some Greek shows coming up, and I'm always available.
No, you're not
birthday
always
parties,
available.
funeral lunches, whatever you got.
Children's parties,
Anything.
bris, whatever. And the best way to find out about all of this, of course, is to go to your website, which is ellenkaris.com.
Yes.
Keep it simple. See, that's what I got to learn to do. Keep it simple.
ellenkaris.com. Karis.
And you got a really big calendar. I mean, a really full calendar. So that's very cool.
I've got stuff into April 2026.
Wow,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, filled till April 26th, but I do have things booked out in advance. So
right. So then in between all of that, you have to finish writing your solo show.
Right.
And contributing to the show that you're doing at the Borscht Belt Comedy Festival.
Yes.
And then weekly Sweet and Salty.
Yes.
And no wonder you don't have any money. You don't have any time.
Yeah. I mean, and then in between all that, it's what I call the hunt and peck of, finding work.
Yeah.
The hunt and peck.
Oh, man. Woo, man, you are exhausting, Ellen. You got too much happening for me. I can't handle it.
And I'm not blowing my own horn. I'm just saying this as a motivation for others, because I try to be all about wellness, and I work out almost every day, because if I didn't work out, I would lose my mind. So it's very important that you move your
Yes.
body
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
do whatever that is. So
Well,
I always make sure I make time for that.
well, that's important because the other thing that you and I have in common, possibly the most important thing that you and I have in common, is chocolate. Now, are you a dark chocolate gal, or is it any chocolate?
Any chocolate, but I would say white chocolate's on the bottom.
Yeah. Well, that's not really
You know,
chocolate.
yeah, right. But no, I like milk and I love dark
Yeah.
equally. I'm an equal opportunity chocolate lover. I'm,
I was just
I'm
as I was setting up to record with you, I thought, oh, I got to remember to make a little note underneath all of my notes about you. It says CVS/chocolate
so,
because I have an empty bag of Hershey's
Mm.
Nuggets in the garbage can right next to
Oh,
me.
so
They're so good.
delicious, so
They're
delicious.
they're so good. So
My
good.
mother loved chocolate. My father loved chocolate. I was raised on chocolate. I
Yeah.
call it my first love.
Ah.
I don't have a favorite. I mean, I like it all. I like the expensive stuff is
Yeah.
awesome. The Nestle's or the Hershey's are all good. And I do. I mean, listen, I wouldn't snub a Snickers bar, but I would prefer a chocolate bar.
Hmm.
I was at the Jersey Shore this weekend, and I love a s'more. And that I had my first s'mores of the season, and oh my God, what was heaven? It was heaven on earth. I
Okay.
love
Well, the
that
good
whole
news there is that you
combo.
can have all of them because I don't like marshmallows.
You don't like
However,
marshmallow? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if it's just chocolate covered graham crackers, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
So, and then when I've traveled, like in Colorado, there's it's like a chain, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Company or Fudge Company or something like those kind of stores too. Oh my God,
Uh,
chocolate from there. I know. I do have chocolate every day. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't take drugs. That's it. That's my thing.
yeah.
You
Everybody
know.
needs something. You got to
Oh
have something
God,
that just
I
gives you that
know.
little ping in your
Yeah,
brain.
makes
Just a
me
little
happy.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
makes me
that's
happy.
wonderful. What kind of chocolate do you have in your house right now?
Oh, I have this dark chocolate from I don't I forgot what brands it is. It's from the health food
Oh.
store.
Oh.
It's not like sugar free or anything. It's just like
Oh.
at 60% chocolate or something.
Okay.
And then we have some like protein bars. So yeah, we were away. I mean,
Hmm.
I ate like I was going to the chair. So I didn't have time to go shop. It was so ridiculous.
Well, I think you should just skip dinner tonight and go straight for the chocolate.
Yes, I agree. I
I
agree. And
you have
chocolate ice cream, by the way, doesn't suck either. Yeah.
oddly, you would think that chocolate would be my favorite ice cream because ice cream is my favorite food,
Oh, is it?
but
Uh-huh.
coffee ice cream with chocolate
Co-
sauce.
oh,
That
hmm,
I will walk a
that's
mile.
interesting.
I'll walk a mile for
That's
a mocha.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
That's
really good. And
interesting.
I have the misfortune to live around the corner from a Haagen-Dazs store where
Uh,
unfortunately they now know my name.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the whole staff. It's not always the same people who walk in. Oh, hi, how are you, Shelly? Oh, jeez.
Well, let me tell you what's going on up here on the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
They are opening up so many ice cream, gelato stores. They have
Really?
popped up all over the place. Yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
my. Well,
Donuts, a
yeah.
lot of donuts, cookies. That's
Yeah.
that's good too.
Yeah. There's
Uh
a Van Leeuwen opening down the street from the Haagen-Dazs store.
huh.
So no matter which subway I come out of, it's gonna be temptation waiting for me right there. And I usually give in.
Yeah. You know, I love all the ice cream, of course,
Hmm.
but I had some Breyers mint chocolate chip the other
Yeah.
day, like supermarket, and it was delicious. It was so good. I was so happy.
Good.
This
That's
is
all that matters. That's all that
that's
matters.
it. I'm also, if people can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Greek Chick Comic, that would be awesome because as we know, it's all about the likes.
That's right.
So
It's all about the follows and the likes and
I
the
mean,
clicking and the saving and the sending and all of that stuff.
yeah,
And of
the
course,
videos. Yeah.
on YouTube, which is
Yeah.
where I watch most of your stuff. So I want to thank you very much, Ellen, for taking some time to do this with me,
Hmm.
being part of the Funny Women of a Certain Age podcast family. And I want you to teach me how to say thank you and goodbye in Greek.
Ευχαριστώ.
Efcharisto.
Efkaristo is thank you.
Ευχαριστώ.
And a goodbye is adio or
Adio.
adio. Or sometimes, lots of times we say yasas, which is sort of the same as yasu, but yasas.
So that's kind of like saying
That's
bye.
also sort of like a a goodbye.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we
Adio.
usually end the podcast by just everybody says bye. So follow Ellen Karis at ellenkaris.com. She's on Instagram. She's on YouTube. She's on Twitter. She's probably in the church on your corner. She's everywhere. She's Ellen Karis. Ellen, say yasas.
Yasas. Opa.
Bye.
Bye.